Hello, everybody. Okay, I am really excited to talk about today's topic. We are going to talk about presence and how to help you stay present. I actually just came back from a weekend getaway with my family off to the island, and we went to this tiny town on the island, and we just basically chilled there and we stayed at a cabin and we also went crabbing. It was so much fun and there was seven of us all together and it was just a really fun time. And this made me realize that recently, like every single time I've been on trips, vacations, whether it is to like a short family getaway or with friends, it's always nowadays, it's always been so much more intentional. And every time when I go to these trips, I'm able to actually just completely turn off my like the work side of my brain to just truly be here, to connect with the people in front of me, to truly cultivate our relationship, to share about stories, and to just like be here, be solely present. And I realized that I wasn't able to really do that before. Staying present and truly being here is actually a skill. It's an amazing skill to cultivate for yourself if you want to create deeper connection with your loved ones. It is like there's so much benefits to knowing how to be present and knowing how to tap into presence in that moment. And I'm going to share with you a lot more and also share with you some tips of how you can start practicing for yourself to always know how to come back to presence. So because this whole trip, what I was on with my family, I stay so fully present with them. I felt like we really bonded. We had card games nights and we had a fireplace. We shared stories. We really connected. We laughed. We also had our arguments. But even with the arguments, right? It was like in the moment argument, and that felt so good. You know how when you have those fights with your siblings, but then it's like you kind of miss those fights because not all my siblings are in the same town in Vancouver with me. And so when everyone's back all together, we have those arguments, but it's like kind of like you have this love-hate relationship with your siblings. And it's always so much fun to just kind of like tease each other and like argue and like fight about things. But anyways, like even the arguments, like we were so in the moment and it felt so good to argue. It's kind of like this weird relationship, but I loved it. And and there was a time when I would be so anxious, so much so that even when I was on these trips, I would like live in my head about my work. I would think about all of the things I had to do coming back home after the trip. I would worry about money on the trip, how much I'm spending. I would have like these doubts about myself or wonder about what they are thinking about me. Am I or like comparing myself to other people, or I was scroll on social media and compare myself with my peers, even when I'm away, even when on a break. And so I wasn't really fully able to access the skill of being able to truly turn off my brain to just be here. And now I think I'm at a place in my life where I can really do that. And honestly, there's so much benefits to being able to truly be present here. Knowing how to create deeper connection is one. And I was actually just talking to a client, and she shared with me how she has ADHD and she feels like there's always like 10 or 20 tabs open in her mind. It's very hard for her to focus. In the background, there's always something buzzing all the time. And so she was wondering if I have any tips on like how to really help her focus so that she can actually get more work done. And the question I asked her was, how often right now in your day are you truly present? And do you have daily activities to help you be present? Because this is the thing. When you are present, like truly present just here in your body in this moment, you cannot focus on anything else because you're just here, right? Like even as you're listening to my voice right now, as you're listening to me talking right now in this episode, watching me talk, I'm just here. You're just here watching me talk on YouTube or just here listening to me on Spotify, on Apple, in your ears. Maybe you're driving, maybe you are doing a workout, right? You're just here in this moment. There can never be a second moment because once this moment has passed, this is the next moment. Only this moment or the next moment or the next moment. Every time when you are present, you can only focus on what's here right in front of you and the thing that you are working on, right? Like, for example, right now, as I'm recording this episode, I am so present. I'm just here having my script in front of me, having my outline in front of me. I'm just here with my mic in my office, in my room, focusing on sharing my thoughts and sharing my story with you. That's it. This is how present I am. And if you think about some of the people who make the most money, who are super, super successful, there are a lot of people that they are the way that they are is because they can be so present here, right? If you think about amazing public speakers, 1 hour of their time on stage, that is just them here sharing that 1 hour time with you, and they can truly activate something within you. They can truly connect with you because in that moment they are so fully present. And so being present is a skill that you learn and cultivate over time. And I think my journey as a life coach and just working on being able to hold space, like a part of me being able to know how to hold space for my clients, for anyone who I'm coaching, who I'm working with, being able to hold space for myself, a big part of it has to do with knowing how to truly be present here with you, listening to you share your thoughts, knowing how to hold space with you without me like I'm coach here coaching you and being here for you and not living in my head thinking about what I'm going to say next. Right? I'm just here being with you intuitively, feeling into the energy and creating magic together because I'm able to know how to be so fully present, so fully here right now. Being present has helped me become so much more productive and effective with my time. You'll be surprised with how much time you spend every single day living in your head as opposed to actually executing in front of you, as opposed to actually doing the actual work versus how much you spend in your head. And so if you know how to actually get out of your head and truly be here with the work that is in front of you, you will realize that you will save so much time. You will become so much more productive and effective with your time instead of always having noise buzzing in your background and being able to be so hard to focus, right? And so being present will help you become so much more productive and so much more effective with your time, with your energy, with how you choose to live and spend every moment in your day. You know, there's that in Kung Fu Panda, the turtle's wise words. What was it? Oh, yes. The present is a gift, and the past has already passed. And what you can actually think about is that the past actually doesn't exist anymore. The past, all that exists right now in this current moment is sentences in your head and feelings that you and memories that you picked up from the past. That's all. The past actually doesn't exist anymore. Same thing with the future. The future only exists right now as sentences in your head and as how you and as sensations that you create of how you feel about it. The only thing that exists right now is in this present moment. And that kind of leads me off to the next point is that everything happens in the now. The most potent energy and the most important kind of change can only happen in the now. Even if you are planning for what's ahead, even if you are strategizing for what's ahead, thinking about your week to come, all of that, right? Even with the planning, all of that can only happen in the right now. The planning can only happen right now. Any type of change, any decisions that you make can only happen in the right now. You can continue to think about decisions. You can continue to worry about scenarios that might happen or that might not happen. But you can only make those decisions in the now. And that's why in the now is so important. And the more you know how to be present, and the more you know how to feel into the presence and feel into the present moment, the more powerful you become. To be truly here for someone, to actually truly connect with someone and truly bond with them is very, very different than you here having a conversation and catching up with a friend, but in your head, you are living your head, you are judging them, you are judging you, you are worried about what's next, you are thinking about other things because other people can feel it. People can truly feel it if you are truly here being present for them or not. I get comments all the time whenever I catch up with friends. They always let me know that there's just something about you. Whenever I talk to you, I feel like you can truly be here for me. And you can always, like, every time when I leave our conversations together, I feel like I have truly been seen in some way, that I have truly been held in some way. That's because when I'm just talking to you, I'm just here. I'm not thinking about other things. I'm not worried about other things, even though, yeah, I have so much worry. I have 1,000 things I'm always thinking about a lot. But when I know that I'm here, I know how to turn off that part in my brain and just truly be here for you. And people can feel that when you are truly connected with them and when you are truly, truly here for them. That is a different energy. They can feel like your energy is so connected together. You are so bonded together instead of like thinking about something else, right? And this is why when you want to truly build amazing relationships with people, you actually don't need to spend a lot of time with them. You actually don't. It is like, think about it. Would you rather meet up with someone 10 times a week and not being truly here with them, or meet them once every month or once every 3 months? But the time that you spend together, you are truly just present here, truly present and truly here. Because here's the thing, when you can truly connect with someone this way, and they truly feel your presence, feel that you are truly here with them, that energy carries on. So that even when you're not together, they can still feel that energy coming from you. They can still feel that connection because that the energy lingers on. Even though you're not physically here with them, that connection and that presence as they feel with you, it lingers on. And and so you can have friends who you do not catch up with for a long time. But then when you do, oh my gosh, it is as if you have never left because you were so connected and so present with them. And so this is one of the skills to cultivate for yourself if you want to truly be here and truly connect with someone deeper this way. Being present has also helped me trust myself so much more. When you are present, you can really be here to really clear out what is actually in your head, to actually discern within you all kinds of voices. You will be able to know what is actually the voice of your true inner knowing and what is the voice of what society tells you you should do or how you should act. You will be able to tell the difference when you can truly be here, be so present with the voices in your head, knowing, okay, there's the voice of this is what I actually want to do. And this is the voice of what my parent tells me to do. Or this is the voice of what my teacher from grade 5 tells me to do. This is the voice of what society tells me I should do. Versus this is the voice of my true inner knowing. This is what it actually feels like in my true inner knowing. When you can be so present with yourself this way, you will be able to activate and really discern that part within you of what it is that's your voice and what it is that's coming from the voice of other people and from the society. And another powerful thing that knowing how to be present has really helped me is activating presence, and knowing how to be present has helped me bend time. If you think about it, right? Time, it really is just a made up construct. And in a way, you can become the creator of time. And what being present has helped me is that it has helped me slow down time when I want to. It has helped me speed up time when I want to. And it has also helped me become a time bender. It helped me create more time. I am able to do this all when I know how to activate my presence. There are conversations that because you are so present with someone, you feel like a long time has passed with this person because you are so focused with them on every single moment. You can decide to spend 1 hour, spend it as if you spend a whole day. When you can truly be here with every single activity, every single word, every single task that you're doing, you can be truly be here to slow down time when you're just so here in the moment. And there are also periods of your life where, and periods of your day where you can decide to speed up time. When you are enjoying, when you are in the flow of a process, when you are in a flow of a project or a creative activity, when you're painting, you can just be here and it's as if an hour passed by, like it's been 5 minutes. You can go on a vacation that you enjoy so much, and a week felt like it's just been 1 day. That is how you use the power of being present to activate the act of spinning on time and the act of slowing down time. Because time is going to feel, what's that word? It's going to feel, it's subjective, right? Time is subjective to everyone. Everyone feels time differently depending on what you're going through. And so when you can be present, you can decide to slow down time or to speed up time or to create more time. You can actively decide, let's say between two activities, if you have 10 or 15 minutes to spare, you can create more time to do more things within those period of time. But you have to know how to be present with the time that you have. If you are painting and you are really, really enjoy this time, it can feel like 5 minutes has passed by because you love spending time doing this hobby so much, because you love spending time talking with this person so much. Time and speed by so fast. And then when it's time, when they're doing activity that you really, really do not like, it can also feel like time has passed by so slowly. And I would even say, even in those periods where time felt like it's passed by so slowly because you are so present with them, but maybe it's an activity that you don't really like. It is also a skill in that moment for you to learn how to and practice to how to be present, even in those moments when time feel like it's been passing by so slowly. If you are working towards a goal, let's say if you are working towards, like, one thing I can think about is in my fitness journey, actually, sometimes I really, really hate doing ab exercises. I just do not like doing ab exercises. I love how I feel afterwards, but I hate the feeling of getting a workout my on my on my abs. Like, it just does not feel good. And so every time when I'm in those moments, it feel like time passed by so slowly. Like 30 minutes of workout can feel like it's been an hour. And so I had to always remind myself that this is when it is important for me to practice feeling and just practice being present here with my workout, with how it feels in my body. Now, sometimes I cheat. And so I would like play music that I enjoy, or I would watch a video that I enjoy to pass by, to kill time. And then it would feel like time passed by so much faster, right? So notice how time is relative, and it's all depending on how much presence you want to be with the time. And the more that you can become present with it, the more that you can actually create more time. And so think about how you can apply this to your life. With the activities that's actually the most important in front of you right now, the work that actually matters right now, how present can you be with it? Because the more that you can be with it, the more you can generate energy around it. And that's how you become more effective with it. That's how amazing ideas come through to you. That's how you can make powerful decisions and choose to act differently when you can be so much more present. Okay, so let me share with you 3 ways that you can easily tap into presence and come back to present, to your presence. Number 1 is to breathe. Okay, this is something that's so simple, and yet it is so looked upon by the society today because everyone's like, okay, breathe. Yeah, I'm breathing all the time. But are you really? Are you really breathing? Because when you are anxious, when you are living in your head, when you are constantly on the go, like go, 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 sometimes you can actually forget to breathe, or your breathing can be very shallow. It can be just in your throat. And so you can use the power of your breath to help you activate being present. And what I like to do is I like to use the box breathing technique, where it's like you inhale for 4 seconds, hold it for a couple of seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, and then exhale for 4 seconds. And so it's inhale for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, and exhale for 4 seconds. And what you want to do is every single time, and you want to repeat this 4 times at least. Every single time you inhale, hold for 4, exhale. You want to imagine your consciousness and your breath to just sink deeper and deeper down into your body until at the end of the 4th time, you are breathing from your lungs and from your stomach as opposed to breathing from your neck. When you are breathing shallow, then that's how your breath becomes shallow. And that's how you forget that you are actually living in the present moment right now. And so it's always coming back to your breath, using the power of air, using the power of your breath to help you find your presence again, to feel the weight of your body, to feel gravity in your feet, to be able to truly come back to the power of being here again. And then when you are present, then you can decide, right? When you are present long enough, a lot of the times your problems will be solved. A lot of the times, the things that you are thinking about, that you're worried about, will be solved the moment you come back to your breath. And when you are present, then you can act from a more clear space. You can make decisions again and think again more clearly from a more grounded, steady space where you are fully present. The other thing that you can do to help you come back to presence and come back to your presence is to notice the 5 senses in your environment. And so you can act using the power of 5 senses, which is an amazing thing to do. The fact that we can tap into all 5 senses, right? So it is your sights. What are you seeing right now? So notice around you what you're seeing. For me right now, I'm noticing my screen in front of me. I am noticing my plant that is in my room. I'm noticing my desktop lights. I'm just noticing what I'm seeing. So what are you seeing right now? What are you hearing right now? What are you smelling? Are you noticing any scents, right? Are you noticing any, do you hear birds chirping? Do you hear your music playing? Do you hear the like as you are moving around in your chair, do you hear the sound of you shifting in your chair? What are you hearing? What are you feeling right now? Are you feeling the weight of your chair, of your body on your chair? Are you feeling how cold the certain areas feel like in your space, right? So this is what you can do. What I like to do is I also like to take a sip of tea, hot tea, and just feeling the tea going down my throat, down into my body, down into my gut. Like that feels so nice. That is how I can also activate presence, right? So notice the five senses. Okay, the other thing that you can do to help you come back to presence is to engage in an activity where you are being in your own energy. And so you are doing an activity right now that does not require to require external stimuli. And so it is you being in your own energy, kind of like in a therapeutic way where you are just doing your own things and you can be so focused and so present with just doing the activity. For some people, it is painting, right? When they're painting, they're so focused, they're just here painting away. For other people, for me, for example, I love to cook. So is the act of cooking is very therapeutic for me, where I'm just focusing on the cutting things, focusing on putting them into the frying pan, focusing on preparing my meals, preparing each ingredient. I'm just here focusing on each ingredient. And that's something that is very therapeutic for me. I'm just here in the present moment, in my own space, in my own energy. So you want to, I know that whenever people do activities and do hobbies like this, they like to listen to music or they like to be on a podcast. Now, if you find that it works for you, it's great. I would offer to, because here's the thing, when you are listening to podcasts and you're so focused on the podcast, it's also very hard for you to be present, right? And so if playing music can actually help you zone out of it and actually be able to still be present, then that's great. It's just that for me personally, listening to music and listening to podcasts, it hasn't worked to actually help me be present. And so I also like to go on a walk unplugged, where I'm just taking a walk. I'm just noticing what's around me. Like, hey, noticing the pedestrians, greeting people who walk past me, noticing nature, noticing how the wind feels on my face, noticing each step, right? That's how you can be actually present here right now, noticing how you're breathing right now. And that's how you can be present. And so, what is that activity that you can tap into to help you be present? I know that for some people, it can be doing yoga, right? When you're doing yoga, you're just focusing on your breath. You're just focusing on how your muscle feels when you're stretching. When you're climbing, right? You're just thinking about, okay, where do I put my hand next? What do I do next, right? You're just here in the present and focusing on what's in front of you. So, what is that activity for you right now that helps you to be in your own energy so that you can be present? And think about how you can add pockets of those times into your day more instead of just like only doing it on the weekends, for example, right? Think about how you can add those pockets of time where you can take a break from what you're doing and just break that circuit and and then create those moments when you're present, right? It could be like, okay, before you move on to the next task, take a moment to just breathe. Before you move on to the next task, take a moment to just notice the five senses that's around you to help you be present again. Just because you have ADHD and you have a neurodivergent brain doesn't mean you cannot focus. And in fact, this is a powerful skill that you can add into your neurodivergent lifestyle to help you actually help you move so much faster. Like if you are someone who is prone to anxiety, if you tend to live in your head a lot, if you tend to get anxious a lot, if you kind of like jump around from thing to thing to thing, and you tend to get distracted a lot, then activating presence and knowing how to be present is such an amazing skill set for you to cultivate for yourself. The more that you can be present with your neurodivergent brain, you will find yourself being so much more creative, letting yourself flow so much more easily, being able to get so much work done because you being able to multitask, you being able to do a lot of things at once is actually an amazing skill. It is your superpower. And you can do a lot of things at once while being present with each one of them. Do you see? It's not that multitasking and doing a lot of things is bad, but it is you can do a lot of things while being present with the right things. You can do a lot of things at once and having a multi-passionate life or you're doing all the things and knowing how to tap into presence for every single one of them. Knowing how to be here, being in the now for every single one of those items, this is going to help you be so much more productive, help you be so much more effective with how you use your time. And this is what will help you activate that frequency where you are truly thriving, where you can be here with each moment all of the time and still be able to do a lot all of the time. This is how amazing being present can be, activating the power of now. Okay, I hope that this episode has given you some nuggets of tips of what you can take with you to help you become more present today. And the more that you are present, honestly, the happier you can become, and the faster you will be able to solve problems that is right in front of you when you are present and just truly be here with your thoughts, with your feelings, with your energy, with what is right in front of you. All right, I hope that you take some time today to activate your presence to help you be so much more present. I will talk to you next week. Bye.